beautiful Wednesday morning. Good morning to everyone, to all our WIDU listeners. Again, this is the time we come together every second and fourth Wednesday to be able to bring great information from our county. Again, we thank God for this radio talk show that brings information about the county, resources that's available to us, much resources that we don't know. So make sure if you don't know, listen, make sure you call somebody, tell somebody. We're talking again, sharing resources. There are so many resources available within the community that we're not even aware of. So we want to continue to bring forth those information resources to you that will help you be able to enjoy life a little bit better. And there's so many things they're free for us, and that's one thing we don't really capture. Wednesday morning, nice weather, about 69 degrees. We finally get some cooler weather out there, and we can thank God for that. Amen. When we look at the news, it fires everywhere, storms. We are blessed in this area. Well, let's get right into it. Again, you're listening to Cumberland County Rise and Shine. I'm co-pastor Al McAllister with WIDU radio station.
And good morning. I'm Dr. Teresa McAllister. I'm the senior pastor of Rafa Ministries.
And we have a very powerful topic we're dealing with today that affects everybody. Back to school, and not only back to school, but back to school safety. You know, it used to be a time you just focus on going back to school, but now, because of the way changes are happening, we have to focus a lot on safety. I heard a parent say the other day, I want to get my child to school, but I want to be sure they get back home safely. And we have great advocates here that will help us deal with that. So that's our subject this morning, talking a little bit about public health for Cumberland County Sheriff's offices. As we go into back to school Cumberland County, we're going to be focusing a lot on the safety aspect of that. In the studio, we have with us representatives from the Cumberland County Public Health Department and the Cumberland County Sheriff Department. So today we're going to focus a lot on keeping our students safe according to public health professionals. We want to even include a little bit of information about immunization, physical exams, and even health-related issues, but we want to focus a lot from the Sheriff Department on those safety issues. We have our school resource officer. Well, before I get started, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. You need to know who's sharing with you. Then we're going to jump right into it, and time goes so fast. So what we want you to do is have your pen out so that you can capture the information on how to contact them later, because we're going to throw out so much information to you, you're not going to be able to capture it all in one setting, but you need to know how to go back and get up with them. So in our studio this morning, please introduce yourselves. Tell them where you work at and points of contact, how they can get up with you, please.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tamara Morris. I am the Deputy Director at the Cumberland County Public Health Department. I serve a variety of things at the department, but one being our community-based services, our outreach, and public information. So happy to be here today to share about school safety from an immunization standpoint. And folks can follow us on our Facebook and Instagram pages. They can also visit our website, cumberlandcountync.gov/health, or give us a call, 910-433-3600. And you know where to find us. There are two big buildings on Ramsey Street. We're at 1235 and DSS is 1225. We share a parking lot. So right close to downtown is the Public Health Department, our main campus address, and yep, that's how you can reach us.
That phone number again?
Yep, so that's 910-433-3600. 3600. You can remember 3600. You can get to any department, division in the department.
And if they can't talk directly to you, someone in that office will answer that phone and help them.
Most definitely, yes. And so if you can't visit us in person, visit the website. If you can't get the information you need on the website, just give us a call, 433-3600.
Really want to talk about public health this morning. Continue to introduce yourself from the Sheriff Department.
Good morning. I'm Captain Patrice Bogarty with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office. We are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we can be reached at 910-323-1500. And somebody is always there to answer the call. Even if the office is closed, there's still a watch commander there. There's always someone that can answer whatever question you have.
Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So we got the public health and now the Sheriff Department. Continue to please.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Sergeant Tony James. I'm with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office, and I'm a school resource officer.
You're the school resource officer?
Yes, sir. I'm actually in the school system with
We're going to have a lot of questions for you this morning.
Yes, sir.
Back to school. And again, we already feel safe knowing that you're already in here to help educate us. Well, let's get right into it because time moves so fast when we're doing this here. Pastor, want to start us off?
Yes, let's get into the public health side. Many of us know that students are required to have specific immunizations. For those who may not be too familiar, Can you give us a rundown of the required immunizations, Ms. Morris?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, students are required to have certain vaccines when they're new to public schools in North Carolina, or if they're entering kindergarten or a rising 7th or 12th grader. So that is a mandate. That's not public health law. That's North Carolina law for students and school systems. And the students have to provide their certificate of immunization. So there are certain vaccines that they have to have in kindergarten, those early childhood immunizations. This includes things like Tdap, polio, MMR, varicella. For 7th grade, they also have to have their Tdap and meningococcal vaccines. And then in the 12th grade, they get that second dose of meningococcal. There are some other childhood vaccines that they have to have as well. And those are all listed on our website and on DPH's website, so dph.ncdhhs.gov. You can find the North Carolina law and the list of all of the grade level entry required vaccines. But those are required. And so they keep our children safe so they can be healthy and focus on learning and getting to know new friends and having a good school day. It also is required for homeschool students. So I think some folks have a misunderstanding that they're exempt because they homeschool. They still have to follow that North Carolina law and provide the certificate. And then they also can have a medical or religious exemption, and the appropriate paperwork for that is located on the website as well. So these are vaccine programs that we implement to keep children safe, and we do have Vaccines for Children, which is a program that allows us to provide them for free.
Let me
Yes,
throw
ma'am.
this in. But I know you got another question, because I know there used to be a time when I was coming up, immunization, whatever was required, was required. We know the last few years, it's a little bit of confusion on what's required, what's not required. So how do we really know, what can a parent do to know what has to happen, what is not my choice, and what it has to be?
Yes.
So instead of waiting at the last minute.
Yes,
That
so
makes sense.
that does. That makes great sense. It's a great question. So your child's immunization record you can get from their health care provider. You can also give us a call, and we can help to navigate and look up in the North Carolina Immunizations Registry and verify which vaccines they've already had versus what things they need, so that you're not even coming in and spending the time waiting and not needing to do anything because
Right.
you're up to date. You may just have maybe lost the record in transition or not recalled what they've already had done. But there are certain ones that are required for each of those grade levels through North Carolina law, and each of the lists for each grade level, kinder, 7th, and 12th, we have palm cards to explain what those are, a QR code that leads you to the state website so that you can see the list for yourself. And you can also look at the immunizations records and pull those yourself as well. So the evidence to show that what you have is a part of that immunizations registry, and that certificate is what you provide the school with to show that you've met that.
Yes.
I had my records, but I lost them. What do you do with that?
Easy fix. That's why we have the registry. So the North Carolina Immunizations Registry tracks all of those immunizations that your child has received, and we can look those up and verify for you so that you have a record to turn in for the certificate.
Just one more question. I'm sure parents would like to know, but how long do parents have to get their children's immunizations? And what happens if they don't meet the deadline?
Yep, so we're on the countdown already. If you visit our website and click immunizations, a pop-up comes up to tell you don't be late, don't wait to vaccinate. The deadline this year is September 22nd, so we're really encouraging folks to take advantage of our walk-in clinic. Our immunizations is open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4:30, and then on Friday, 8 to 12, depending on if they have inventory or travel vaccines. But we block some of that for September as school is starting back so that we can ensure that parents have an opportunity to come get it done and not have a long wait time. That deadline is always 30 calendar days after the first day of starting school. So for year-round schools, whatever day they start, they have 30 days, and for schools on the traditional calendar, they also have 30 days. So for this year, that's September 22nd. And our goal is for kids not to miss school. And so if they don't get it done September 23rd, they can't go to school. So we want to make sure that they're getting it done by that deadline so that they're not being excluded from school because they haven't met the requirement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where can they go? Okay, no doubt. It's going to be a long line at the office for the ones that didn't get them done at the health department, like come around about the 21st or somewhere.
Yep.
Is there other place? How many places can they go to get the immunizations?
Yeah, so they can get their immunizations at their medical provider, your primary PCP, you can do it there. There are also other clinics that may offer it, such as urgent cares or pharmacies. But if you want to take advantage of that Vaccines for Children program and come have them done at the health department for free, you're welcome to do so. As I mentioned, you can come during our regular hours. We've hosted evening clinic once a month where we stay open till 7. So our most recent one was yesterday. We will have some outreach clinics that we'll do at school sites now that school has started back.
That's awesome.
And those flyers are on our website. But September 15th, 17th, 21st, and 22nd from 4 to 7 will be at some of the local schools providing 7th and 12th grade. We can't do kinder at those locations, but you can still use the walk-in hours for any of those other
You're
clinics.
throwing a lot of information out there. That number again to the health department, 910-433-3600.
Too easy. You've already gotten it down.
Too
So
easy.
Too
Y'all need to be
easy.
hearing that again because they have a lot of dates out there that they'll help you out. I know working parents, sometimes you have a hard time trying to get there, but the immunization is important. It's
Exactly.
a must. So don't wait till the last minute because you already said on the 22nd, it's the last day, the 23rd, it cannot come back.
they can't come back to school. And the lines get really long for us, but we do try to maintain the capacity and help everyone that we can. So this is why we promote it so heavily over the summer and have outreach clinics and try to have dates that help families to get it done outside of those working hours. We've also tried to incentivize students, so we've been giving out swag bags over the summer for kids who are coming to get it done early, and also entering them into raffles for some electronic devices, so
Ooh-wee.
iPads and Nintendo Switch, so they get input in a raffle ticket if they've gotten it done over the summer, and that's just one of the ways that we're trying to reduce the line come
You're
September
making
22nd.
it easy. I've got my shots. Can I
Yeah,
ask you for that?
I don't think you're quite eligible.
Okay,
You're not a
eligible.
student with Cumberland County Schools,
Okay,
but
maybe extra time or something.
but we would get you in if you were. We definitely would.
Well, now we got them. The immunization is taken care of. They're ready to go to school. We get them to school, and now we want to keep them safe. We want to be sure they're going to go home. Go to school, come back home safety, and that's why we have Sergeant James here with us to help keep our students safe. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's the goal.
That is the goal. We want all our kids to go to school, learn, have a good time, and enjoy school.
Well, let me ask you, what are some of the the rules and the regulations, or maybe are there new rules and regulations and requirements from the sheriff department that the community need to be aware of when they walk into school this year, and they could do this last year, but now is there anything different that they've been allowed to do in time past by rules and laws that's not going to be acceptable this year? Help us out with that. What you expect from them when they come in, the do's and the don'ts?
Well, one thing with the sheriff's office we're real big on is parents going towards the school buses. We are not a fan of that, so we ask.
Say it again now.
We ask all adults never get on a school bus.
Don't get on a school
Do
bus.
not. If honestly, I understand as a parent you want to protect your baby and everything. However, when you get on that school bus, it can look like you're intimidating the babies on the bus. So we're not a fan of you getting on the bus because it's a scary look.
Okay.
So we tell a lot of parents, just don't even go towards the bus stop.
Don't even go towards the bus stop.
So when I say don't go towards the bus stop, don't go towards the bus stop to get on the bus.
Okay, gotcha.
Walk your baby to
You
the
can
bus
walk them
stop.
there 'cause they wanna say goodbye to 'em
yes,
and
especially
hug 'em.
the first week of school. That's a very magical moment. But just don't get on the bus.
And I'm sure at the beginning of school is really challenging. You got a lot going on. So that's when you really need parents to kind of stay back a little bit, let y'all trust that child to be able to.
We would be very appreciative of it, and we really don't want you to even speed in the school zones. So when it comes to the school buses and the roads and the schools, it's a whole environment that we try to explain to people. It's very touchy. So, we do a thing called Operation Safe Passage where we have a lot of deputies out on the roads. They're monitoring the school zones because, first week of school, sometimes people will forget that school's back and they're speeding in the school zones.
Let me pause on that for a moment because
Yes,
I've already been driving and seeing those lights flashing, school zone, and help us out with that. Is that a real problem?
Can be. If you're not paying attention, unfortunately, like seniors in high school now, they're on their cell phones, texting and driving, and they're not paying attention to the road, and then they come into a school zone, and it's amazing how the speed limit can shift from 45 to
Down to
25.
25 real
Yes,
quickly.
sir, very quickly. And it's a double whammy because now you're speeding in a school zone, you're on your cell phone. So those are like one of the things we really talk to people about doing, whether it's teenagers or adults.
Help me out with this, because there was a talk show we did, used to have years ago, and we don't do it right now. And we don't have that problem right now. However, give a few months, it's going to start be dark in the morning time, and those children are standing out beside the road. So that was the thing I used to always remind them on our radio talk show: look out for that yellow bus, that yellow bus, that yellow bus. You can't miss seeing it. But so we don't have that problem right now, maybe the next month or so, but it's going to be coming and within a couple of months. So we need to get parents ready, drivers ready for those children that's standing out beside the road when you're speaking of parents, because a lot of times they'll be out there with their cars, with their
Agreed.
kids. Help us out. Give us some guidance on that for those.
So with that, time change, speed change. It's the-
So that's a good slogan.
It's just one of the things I tell, when I was in the school, I told my kids all the time, you have to be very wary about, the speeds of the roads in Fayetteville. You're doing 45, you're not paying attention, you're enjoying the music, because we were all seniors in
Yeah,
high school once, and we
okay.
enjoyed driving, and we're not paying attention, radio's blaring fast, and then next thing you know, you're in a school zone, and you see those blue lights behind you. To avoid that scariness, just
Yeah.
pay attention to the road. Put the phone down, enjoy the drive, and let's just go from there.
Time change or drive time change?
Oh, no. Time change, speed change.
Speed change.
Yes, sir.
Change that speed so that you
Yes,
can
sir.
adjust to that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also stop for those flashing lights of the bus. A lot of people are passing these buses, and I don't think the public realizes they're on camera. They're being recorded. We can go back
being
and chart it.
recorded.
Yes, they're being recorded. And, if it was your child, you would want oncoming traffic to stop and slow down. You have to stop for those red flashing lights.
Is that a major problem here?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, we see the buses have plenty of lights. What do you see is the major problem? Do somebody just be in a hurry trying to get past the bus before the lights come out, don't see them?
I think it's lots of different things. People are in a hurry. They're distracted, like
Yes, ma'am.
Sergeant James said. They're not paying attention. And I think adults forget that just because you can see a child doesn't mean a child can see
Yes,
you.
yes.
And they're excited and they're trying to get on the bus, and it's, traffic should be stopped for them. They should be stopped for that arm, but a lot of times they're not.
And so really paying attention to the stop buses with the lights. When they stop, okay, let me ask you this, because a lot of time those yellow lights will start flashing, and then the stop sign will come out. When those lights, what's the time difference? Is there any kind of transition time?
So it's just basically like a regular
common sense
stoplight.
thing.
The yellow doesn't mean go faster. I know when people get to those
Oh,
red
okay,
lights,
that's
they're
what I'm
like,
trying to get to.
yellow means
Do it mean
slow
hurry up
down.
and go
It's the warning, like the red light is coming. If you should stop for the yellow.
Stop for
Stop
the
for the
light.
yellow. If you see the yellow, you should slow down. You should stop, because that red light is coming right
Yes,
behind it.
yes.
And kids don't know that arm is red or yellow. They just know, hey, that's my ride. I need to get on
I'm
the bus
good,
with my
yeah.
friends, So if you see that yellow light flashing, you should already be slowing down to stop.
So Sergeant James, let me ask you this. Are there any specific kind of initiatives, that the sheriff's office is taking to keep our students safe this school year? Any other kind of specific initiatives?
Yes, ma'am. So with the sheriff's office, we have 4 high schools, 4 middle schools, and 16 elementary schools with a total of 24 schools. We have an SRO in every
Here,
school.
24 schools right here?
For the sheriff's office, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, and when I say that, I refer to Pine Forest District, Cape
Right.
Fear District, Grace Creek District, and Jack Britt District.
Okay.
We have an SRO in every school. One of the things we try to tell people is you can go and talk to an SRO about anything. Another program we have is See Something, Say Something, because we're at a time where sometimes people just don't feel comfortable talking to anybody.
Okay.
But with social media being so heavy, they can go to the app, it's See Something, Say Something, and they can kind of give information about anything that takes place.
Still on that line, how does safety this year compare to safety practices in the previous school years? I ask you that again. The question is, how does safety this year compare to safety practices in the previous school year?
To me, the practice starts with the parents. Being willing to explain to your child, as I call it, double A, accountability and approachable. You have to be willing to talk to adults sometimes in school, even when you're not comfortable. The accountability is doing the right thing at the right time. You know you're supposed to be in class. You know you're supposed to not be hanging out with the knuckleheads, as I call them, because sometimes we can be influenced very easily just to be with the cool kids. I was actually one of them kids. I was an athlete, but yes, sir. I wanted to be cool. I just wanted to be like everybody else. And sometimes you have to come to terms, you're just not going to fit in. So one of the things is, when I was in my school, like all the other SROs, we walked the halls, we checked bathrooms, we checked the doors, we walked the perimeter, we make sure the school is safe.
Great.
So let me hit on that for a moment, just
Yes,
a little
sir.
bit. And I know we got to go to a break in about 2 minutes, but you've been there. But you say I was one of them.
Yes, sir.
What is the thing that you see the one of them doing all the time that you already queued up for? I mean, you know the game because you did what they do, and they think they're doing something new. What's some of the, and I know we're gonna hit on after the break even on the, what's some of the common problem that you see kids doing that's a major challenge for you that you try to resolve, and you and the other
Don't
SROs
want to be told what they can and can't do.
Say again now.
Being told what they can and cannot do.
That's a problem.
It can be, because sometimes, like I said, we were all young once, and like when I first got my driver's license, I just felt like you couldn't tell me nothing. I did not want to remember there were rules that came with that, and it was
You're
actually
the right guy in the job right now, because you've been there.
And it was actually an SRO that set me straight, because one time I was driving my mother's car in the parking lot speeding, and he stopped me. He didn't give me a ticket, but he had a good stern talking with me. So it was actually very good. So my first encounter with law enforcement was an SRO when I was in high school.
Sir James, I tell you, I'm kind of surprised that I'm gonna have to talk to you after this is over.
Yes,
with.
sir.
Okay, so now, you said one of the things, and I know that's a flag right there, being told that you can't do it. That sometimes tempts a child to want to do it. So how do the SRO best handle that? And you mentioned just talking to them. It helps.
Oh, yes. I'm an SRO, but I'm also a law enforcement officer. But I can still talk to you just like you can talk to me.
Yes.
You have good days, I have good days. You have bad days, I have bad days. And sometimes just talking, because with the sheriff's office we do verbal de-escalation, and the sheriff's office is very big on that. Sometimes just talking to them one-on-one is the best thing that you can possibly do.
Do you tend to make friends with a lot of kids in there? Do the relationships do that?
Oh, sir, respectfully, I'm the biggest kid in my school when I was there.
Okay. Okay. Again, you are listening to the program that Cumberland County has called Cumberland County Rise and Shine. And we have with us the Public Health Department blessing us with information about immunizations that we have to take. And those are deadlines that we need to. She's giving us options on what we can do. And we have the Sheriff Department with us talking about safety. So first we have to be able to get them in the school system, and the immunization has to be there. And then once we get them there, we want to keep them safe. Now, one of the things that you mentioned, how much, do we have a little bit before we go to break? Because you mentioned about parents coming to the buses and actually wanting it. I didn't know that was a problem, parents wanting to get on the bus.
So sometimes when two kids are having an issue, one's being bullied, anything of that nature, sometimes as a parent you want to protect your child, and you'll go to the bus stop, unfortunately, to confront a child. That's kind of like a no-no. So what I tell a lot of parents when I was in the school system is set an appointment up at the school with an administrator, and that way the kids can actually talk it out. Conflict resolution, verbal de-escalation.
Parents, we want you to have a safe year. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Cumberland County Rise and Shine, where the program is coming to you every second and fourth Wednesday to provide information that will help you have a good, strong, healthy life right here in the area of Cumberland County. We're going to take a quick break. Please stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Country music legend Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80 and is being remembered by her nephew, Brian Seaver, who made the news official on social media. He was head of security for the late singer. A new High Point University poll is painting a different picture of North Carolina's U.S. Senate race, showing a smaller gap between Democrat Roy Cooper and Republican Michael Whatley than other recent polls. North Carolina voters will decide this November whether to require state lawmakers to limit how quickly local governments can grow their property tax collection. Canadians are weighing in on recent political developments between Canada and the United States with the tariff situation. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education voted Tuesday to approve a motion to release a summary report on the recent completed investigation into Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. On Sunday, August 23rd, Fayetteville police went out to the 1000 block of Cedar Creek Road in reference to an active domestic incident. When they got there, officers determined that the suspect, identified as 29-year-old Dustin Ellis, had allegedly broken into the residence and barricaded himself inside. Officers quickly established a containment perimeter and safely evacuated the victims. Specialized units were deployed, including the Violent Criminal Apprehension Team, Tactical Aviation Support, Emergency Response Team, and Crisis Negotiation Team. Despite repeated attempts by negotiators to achieve a peaceful solution, Ellis refused to comply. Utilizing specialized tactics, officers safely took Ellis into custody inside the residence. Fayetteville Fire Department Hazardous Materials Team visited Scotland County for their local emergency planning committee meeting. Members gave an overview of the regional response program and how they can request help if needed. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Still a fairly comfortable start to the morning on this Wednesday. As we head from morning to midday, we'll see a slight uptick in humidity before it comes back down a bit for the afternoon, but still hot with highs 88 to 90 degrees. As we head into the evening, a few isolated storms possible. Overnight it's quiet, temperatures upper 60s and lower 70s. And by Thursday we reach the mid to upper 80s, however, with a better chance of scattered late-day storms. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
Remember the rotary phone? Well, soon that's what people are going to ask about gas-powered cars. And every day we see videos of robots becoming more and more like us. Welcome to the future. At Fayetteville State University, we believe that anything really can happen. So wherever it is that you want to go, we've got a program for that. Visit Fayetteville State University and find out how we're preparing students just like you for what comes next. Fayetteville State University. Are you in?
Hello, my name is Pastor G.M. Thompson, the pastor of New Beginning Christian Faith Center. We're located at 4326 Coventry Road. Our order of services are, we have Sunday morning Sunday school at 9:30 a.m., morning worship at 11 a.m. We have Wednesday Bible class at 7 p.m. Our motto is, it's all about God. You're welcome anytime. Come and join us. You will be blessed of the Lord.
Amen. Thank you for staying tuned again. You're listening to Cumberland County Rise and Shine, where we come to you every second and fourth Wednesday to bring great information concerning resources that's available within Cumberland County. And we have with us today, our subject, we're talking about back to school safety. And certainly we know that's how everybody get involved, meant to be able to keep everybody safe. And we have with us the Public Health Department that's speaking about immunizations, speaking about the things, and we're going to go back to that in a little bit. But right before we went off the air, we was talking to Sergeant James concerning some of the safety features that we encounter as far as being in school. Sergeant James, you were sharing with us that while parents may walk their child to the bus stop, they're not allowed to get on the bus to help that child on the bus or even see who's on the bus. Help us out with that a little bit.
That is very accurate, sir. So you are allowed to walk your child to the bus stop.
Okay.
But there's a diameter that you have to stop and not go on the bus. The minute you put your foot on that first step, you are considered trespassing. And unfortunately, that is an arrestable offense.
You are trespassing if you step up on. So you're not allowed to go try to help your child get up on the bus and walk them back.
If push comes to shove, the bus driver can put the bus in park, take off her seatbelt, and help your child onto the bus. But you, as an adult, if you are not employed by Cumberland County staff, something of that nature, where you have no business on that bus, once you put your right foot or your left foot, the first foot that touches that step, you have impeded the flow of that bus and you are considered trespassing. And that is an arrestable offense.
That's an arrestable offense for the parent.
Yes, you will go to jail. Unfortunately, there is no other way to explain that.
So it's good to just say bye instead of well.
And
Let me ask you,
can they get banned from even coming back to on the school premises?
So that would be the second nature because, as I explained to people, there is a school consequence and then there's a criminal consequence. The criminal is you're going to be arrested. The school consequence is they can ban you from coming up to the school. You will not be able to attend any athletic events, any school functions, anything of that nature.
this is serious.
Yes.
Parents, I pray that you're listening, writing the numbers down. Again, call the sheriff department if you're not sure. Ask somebody. You said see something, say something.
See something, say something.
Let me ask you some of this because we know some of the children in school, like Boy Scouts and stuff, they have the little knives and stuff, the little short knife what they allowed to have. What are some of the objects that children are allowed or not allowed to have while on school buses or on the campus itself?
So in my dealings, unfortunately, bringing pocket knives, tasers, pepper spray, box cutters, things of those natures.
A box cutter?
Yes, sir. A simple box cutter like if you were working at Walmart.
Yes.
Yes, you are not allowed to bring that. That is actually considered a weapon on campus. A lot of people do not understand, and this is what I used to explain to my parents. The bus stop is an affiliation of the school. The bus stop, the bus, the school. You cannot have anything of that nature.
So if you got it on the bus, you consider having it at school?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It is still considered a weapon on campus.
You said a box cutter.
Box cutter, pepper spray. A lot of
Little girls can't have pepper spray in their purse.
And it's second nature. They have it on their keychains when they're, walking or whatever. They cannot have that on their pocketbook. They cannot have that on their keychain. It is still considered a weapon on campus.
Pepper spray is a weapon.
Pepper spray is a weapon. And when I was at a former high school, we had a student. She had pepper spray on her keychain and didn't think anything about it. And everybody started playing. And when they sprayed it in the school, once it gets into ventilation and the circulation, it goes all through the school. And of course, unfortunately, a lot of students had as I call it, a bad day because, you're talking about kids with asthma and all that stuff. Same thing with that. It's just one of them things that you should not bring to school.
And that could be just an innocent, I wouldn't even know where I had it. But
well, with the summer just ending school-wise and now school starting, a lot of kids are carrying, pocket knives on them. It's second nature to them and not thinking about it.
Speaking of, let's go to those cross guards. Now, they're not policemen. Do we have to obey them?
I would recommend you. That stop sign is just like a bus. Once you see that stop sign, it's unfortunately self-explanatory. You have to come to a stop. One of the biggest issues we have with our traffic control officers is students don't want to go to the median where their traffic control officer is, but they'll dart through cars, and unfortunately, we've had young men and young women get struck by cars because the traffic control officer is designated at one spot. You have to walk down to that traffic control officer and they can stop the traffic for you.
To let you go across.
Yes, sir.
But it is a violation not to obey that traffic, that control guard, just like he or she has the control and the authority just like you as a sheriff.
Yes, because we're trusting our babies crossing the street, and that can be a fear by itself because, again, if you're speeding on a highway, you're just not going to stop at a drop of a dime when that baby crosses in front of you. And sometimes, unfortunately, we've had our traffic control officers get struck by cars because they're speeding and not paying attention.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Okay, we're going to get back to the side of our public health. Thank you, Sergeant James from the Sheriff's Office.
Yes,
this
ma'am.
has been really awesome information. From the public health side, Ms. Morris, we want to talk again about what kind of feedback has public health received regarding school immunizations or any other health requirements for school?
Yeah, so I think that, it's appropriate that parents have questions. They're your babies. You want to take care of them. You want to make the best choices for your children. But as I mentioned before, these vaccines are vital to protect them and make sure that they're having a safe year, and so are the other kids around them. So the vaccines are going to help prevent disease, and some of these diseases are can have no cure. So prevention is really our best method to protect young people from things like measles and pertussis and meningitis. North Carolina had 24 reported measles cases in 2025. So that was the highest number that we'd had in 30 years. And if kids are getting their scheduled required vaccines, we wouldn't have seen as many cases of preventable diseases across the state. So we definitely want to make sure that people recognize we're not trying to challenge their autonomy or their values, but it's our priority to keep young people safe. And so that's why we employ our programs like Vaccines for Children to make sure that we're providing those vaccines free. We provide education. We do talks like this where we're sharing the information publicly so that folks understand what their options are. And then we challenge misconceptions and myths. So we know that there's been an executive order that's been recently released that probably set the tone that it's optional for you to do these things, or that the state was going to go in a different direction for recommended vaccines. But like I mentioned, they play a vital role in protecting children. And right now, North Carolina will not be changing that based on the evidence that we have that these vaccines are effective. And so we're committed to that here in Cumberland County, and they are across the state.
Let me ask you this, and this may be kind of a loaded question, but speaking of optional, when should we as parents make decision not to allow our children to go to school because of some type of illness or sickness? Is there any type of guideline that my child should not be around other children, or they shouldn't be around them because of this community sickness or whatever disease they have?
Yeah, so if they've come down with an illness, a communicable disease that is highly contagious, of course the recommendation is to keep them away and isolated from other children until they're well enough to return to school. But of course, follow the recommendations of your medical provider. So we do have a children's health clinic at the health department. A part of this process for returning back to school and being up to date on immunizations also requires that new to public schools in North Carolina or kindergartners have a health assessment. So that has a variety of checkpoints that talks them through their development, they do screenings that are vision and dental. They can also get their sports physicals if they're going to do sports in the school year. But those routine wellness checks are going to be the things that keep you up to date on your child's well-being and their safety and wellness. And so we encourage folks to stay on top of those things too. So it's not just limited to vaccines at the start of the school year, but it's also paying attention to their development, their growth, thinking about their mental health and their physical health, and tying all of those things together and having a routine check. So not just going to the provider for a sick visit, but also going for well visits, and then making the best determination for yourself when they have something that they need to stay home for.
Let me implement this question as well. It ties in with that. Like throughout the year, what is public health doing to keep families aware of the health requirements for the entire family, not just for the students?
Yeah, so we do back to school season where we really push those back to school vaccinations at the start of the summer, but it's a year-round job for us to keep the community healthy. So we're constantly finding new ways to implement evidence-based interventions. We're working on partnerships with local providers or community-based organizations to promote their events and participate in them when we can. We have educational campaigns for some of the classes that we provide. So some that are parenting education, or some that are for the children and helping with them with growth and development. And then we're reminding them that immunizations aren't just for children, they're for adults too. So you need to go get your flu vaccine. You need to get your COVID booster. You need to take care of yourself so that you can take care of the young people in your life. And then we encourage them to also just, again, you do those routine visits. Am I up to date on my dental screening, my vision screening? Pay attention to where they are in growth and development and if they're meeting certain milestones. And if you notice that something is off and they're your child, you see them on a regular basis, you know when there's something that could be that could use additional support. So that's nutrition support, preventive care, if there's something that you think they need help with when it comes to mental capacity or intellectual support. If we can't provide the service, then we know to make a warm handoff and a connection to a community resource that would help and support you. We know we're not the end all be all in public health, so we want to make sure that we connect you to the right resources as well.
Thank you so much.
Let me shift a little bit back to safety. Sergeant James and Captain Burgundy, either one of you, what are some of the common problems that you, just reoccurring problems between the 24 schools that all the resource officers I'm having the same problem? What's one of the major problems you're having and what's the solution for it? I know that might be a kind of loaded question, and some things are just reoccurring. What would you say is those reoccurring problems that all of you pretty much encounter? And then do you see a fix for it?
Parents.
Well, wait a minute. I may have asked the wrong question. Let's hit that again now. What some of the reoccurring problems? I'm talking about in school.
Parents.
You said
Same
it twice.
answer.
Well, okay, it must be parents then.
It is.
Help me out with that one. 'Cause I didn't expect to hear that one. I thought you said little Johnny just keep.
That, from my experience, with the most due respect, no parent wants to be told that their child's a knucklehead.
Okay.
No parent wants to be told that their child is doing something that they shouldn't be doing. So one of the things I would always tell my kids is, don't do something that's going to embarrass your parents. But when parents come up to the school, they're hot. I mean, they went straight to 100.
The parents.
They've bypassed 10, 20, 30, 40. They went straight to 100.
Oh my goodness.
And sometimes, I mean, I've had parents where they've come up to my schools with a firearm on their side, not
Are you
realize,
serious?
yes, sir. And I've had to have that talk with them. So they're coming up, they're upset. And then when my biggest concern is the school, so of course I take them outside of the school. And unfortunately, I have to detain them because they brought a weapon on campus.
They come straight to you with a weapon on it.
Yeah.
This.
Well,
Oh my.
one thing I've learned.
We need another talk session.
One thing I've learned being an SRO is that first and that second. A lot of people want to say what they want to say, but a lot of people believe that firearm is, I can bring it where I want to.
Okay.
That's not necessarily
That's not
true.
So that's we need to establish that firearms are not allowed.
No weapon is allowed on school campus. There are signs
I have
posted.
a permit.
Good. Not on campus. You can keep your permit. I appreciate it, but don't bring the gun to my school. And I explained that.
I got a legal permit, but if I come to school with a weapon,
You're going to leave with me.
You're breaking the law.
You are breaking the law.
permit
I
does
have
not.
to. I have to take you to jail. That's not a citation, and a lot of people think, well, just cite. No, you're going to jail. You brought a weapon on school campus.
I think that just goes back to your point earlier about people just kids want to do what they want to do and not be
Yes.
told what they can't do. And, you know, parents and adults sometimes have that same mindset as well.
Unfortunately.
In public health, we see that with the vaccinations. They're going to show up on the 23rd with, who are you to tell my child that they have to have this vaccine? I don't want to do this. When did y'all even tell me this?
that's why I asked you options.
We've been telling you since June that the dates are coming up. We do this every year. We're not policing your home values, but we're telling you what North Carolina law mandates and what we have to enforce and implement. If you want to decline and have the exemptions, have the appropriate paperwork, and we can apply that. But the rules still apply. You can't just do what you want to do because you want to do it. And I think that's the resonating story.
Let me ask you,
here.
Ms. Morris, is there any kind of warnings given? We're approaching the 22nd of September. Is there anybody in the school system that have already looked at the immunization records and said, okay, these child, you getting close to the point, you haven't?
Yeah, our school health nurses do that at the end of the previous school year. So they send the notices out in May and June before school even gets out
To who?
to parents.
To the parents. So you've sent notices out already. The parents should be aware. So parent, if you're not sure whether or not your child have all the immunizations, you need to we've already sent notices out to you. That's what you're saying.
Yep, we send those out at the end of the previous school year to rising 6th and 12th graders, and then when they have the kindergarten open house, those parents get that information there. But to the point of having to follow rules and having to enforce them, I think that we've already given the information, and you can show up upset and we'll give you the rule: no weapon on campus, require vaccines to return to campus. The only thing about that is we're just not going to match the energy. We'll give you the
You ain't
information.
gonna match it. Okay, let me go back to Sergeant James. Now, he done told me I can't step on the bus. I can't step on the bus. I'm in trespassing if I step on the bus steps.
Yes. But I'm going to match your energy respectfully.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, I'm going to match
Okay.
your energy. Because at the end of the day, I took an oath to protect kids. Because I'm
Okay.
a school resource officer and a law enforcement
So
officer.
now, let me ask you this. What, again, going back, I think we was getting ready to get into, what are some of the common problems that we have? And you said one of them is parents. What are some of the problems, common problems that you do, and what are you doing already to circumvent that? So that cut it off before it happens. Close the gate before the horse get out. What?
So one advantage we have is the schools now have a weapon detectors at the schools that
Okay.
allow. So the sheriff's office does not search anybody, but when they go through the weapons detectors, if it beeps, the staff will go through their book bag, check.
The
see
staff
if
does that. The sheriff
staff
does not do that.
We do not search anybody's children, and I specifically want that to be known. We do not, especially as SROs, we do not search no children. What happens is you'll go through a weapons detector. The staff will search your bag. If they find something, then they'll turn it over to us. But as for us searching your child,
You don't do that.
We do not, and I cannot reiterate that enough. We do not do that.
Let me ask you this. A child sees something going on, and they don't nobody want to be the snitch, but they want to say something to you. If they tell you something, can they tell you in confidentiality and that they're not going to be pouring it out? Because sometimes a child may want to report something, but they're afraid of retaliation. Help me out with that one.
So let's say second period, a student comes to me and says, "Hey, Dep," because that's what they would call me. "Hey, Dep, there's probably going to be a fight in the cafeteria."
Okay.
I would say thank you, and I would tell them to go the opposite direction of where I'm at.
Okay.
And then what I would do was I would radio my staff, the school personnel, to give them a heads up. I got a tip that something's probably going to happen in the cafeteria. Then what I'll do is I'll let my supervisor know at the time. I might have something pop off in the cafeteria. Can I get another deputy over here? Sometimes just seeing the second deputy can deter something, but since I already know something might happen in the cafeteria, during lunch, I'm in the cafeteria.
Okay.
So I let my kids visually know, if you fight, you fight. I have to do a report. You're both going to go in a report, because unfortunately, we as students, we have this believability where if somebody hits me, I'm going to hit them back, and I'm defending myself. That is actually a fight.
I didn't start it. But I ain't
If
I'm
you
gonna
have
finish it
access,
up.
well, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're in it.
I'm in it now. So
I mean, you're in it. I know it's easier said than done because of our pride. We don't want to walk away, but sometimes walking away and letting them get the last word is the best thing that could
Yes,
possibly happen.
yes. So, Sergeant James, let me ask this too. For those who may not have children going to school, how can they help keep our students safe? I mean, there are other different ones, those that don't have children. What can they do, such like looking out for crossing guards or, different things? What can they do
If they wanna
that don't
do-
have children, but others that can help out in this situation?
They can apply to be a traffic control officer. I mean,
Okay.
we'll take them on. I mean, you have to go through the background check and all that stuff. But I mean, we're always welcoming people that can help us out. I love it when parents come to me and tell me stuff. I tell parents all the time, go through your child's social media.
Go through
this.
their backpacks.
Yes.
Go through their backpack.
Yes.
Yes. A lot of kids today, not to get off subject, but a lot of kids today are smoking and vaping. They bring that stuff to school.
Can they
And
have the vaping stuff at
No. No tobacco, no weapons, no nothing.
no tobacco? I can't bring my little vape.
Because if I'm not
Let me
mistaken,
ask
you're
you this.
supposed to be
I
21.
didn't bring it into school, but I had it in my
shouldn't be
car.
vaping.
It was
The
in my
vaping is
car.
harmful.
Yeah.
Sir? Sir?
I didn't.
Don't let a mother get in
I didn't
there.
bring it into school, but I had it in my car.
Okay.
Is it? violation there,
You're still in trouble.
I'm still in trouble.
Still in trouble.
Listen, we've only got about 3 or 4 minutes left and still got 1,000 questions, but we can't get to them. So again, points of contact. Share Captain Burgundy or Sergeant James any
Everybody.
information you would like the community to know to be able to help parents and students have a safe school year. And then the same thing from you, Ms. Morris, with our last few minutes left.
No question is a dumb question. If you have a question, call us. We can be reached at 910-323-1500. If you need 911, I was just talking to my neighbor yesterday. They didn't know this, so I want to make sure the whole community knows. You don't physically have to call 911. You can text 911 in Cumberland County.
Okay.
So I don't know if everybody knows, but you
No,
can
you
actually
just
text
text
911 that you need an officer or whatever the problem is or the tip, and it will get to law enforcement.
Okay. So call or text.
Or text 911. In Cumberland County, we have texting capability for 911. And a lot of people don't know that. And it will work on a phone that has no service because we all pay a little small fee for
Right.
everyone to have access to 911 on our phone bills.
So James, what can we do to keep have a safe school year?
Just think about it before you do it.
Think about it before you do it.
Before you make that bad choice, just really think about it and walk away.
Now you mentioned walk away, and I want to get Ms. Morris. Somebody hit me. What am I supposed to do?
I know you don't want to hear it, but if you can walk away and go tell an adult, it's
Yes.
better for you.
They looking at me though.
I understand. I do understand. Working in the high school, I understand because you're worried about what everybody's saying and
Yeah.
thinking. But I tell my kids all the time, if they punched you and you're walking to me, obviously that punch didn't hurt you bad enough. We can
So you can walk
we
away.
can deal with it from there.
Ms. Morris, closing remarks. Say to the community what you want to say to them in about 30 seconds or so.
Don't wait, vaccinate. The 22nd will be here before you know it. Take advantage of our back to school immunization clinics. Call us at 910-433-3600. If you have questions, we can help you look through the full list of immunizations. We'll look at the registry and verify what you need, what you don't need. And the thing that you can do for us in public health, if you want to help and you don't have kids, if you're a nurse, apply to be a school health nurse. We have vacancies. That's how you can contribute to keeping other kids safe, even if you don't have any biologically, or you're on your own. So.
You've been listening to Cumberland County Rise and Shine. Again, we this morning sharing from the Sheriff Department and the Public Health Department. Ms. Morris from the Public Health, Sergeant Tony James and Captain Burgundy from the Sheriff Department. Sharing on school safety. We want our children to have a safe year, and they can have one, but it takes participation from the children and the parents. We've learned a lot from the parents. Parents, don't go to school and come in a heated moment. Drink some lemonade before you get to school so that when you get there, you'll be cooled off, because not Sergeant James already said he know how to rise to the level of where you're at, but he don't want to have to do that. Again, what we want to do is have a safe school year. Again, back to school safety. If you want to know about anything about public health, your immunization, what you should or should not have, make sure you call that number, 910-483-3600. And if you are wondering about some of the what you can have as far as weapons, first of all, you can't have no weapons. That's box cutters, all that vaping stuff. You cannot have it. Even if it's on the bus, it's a crime. Make sure, watch out for the stop signs. Just call the Sheriff Department again, 323-1500, 323-15. If you're not aware, learn the school rules when you can pass a bus. You know, sometimes if you're on the opposite sides of a medium, sometimes you can keep going. If you don't know the rules, call somebody. You say ask. If you don't know, ask somebody. Again, you've been listening to the 9 o'clock hour of Rise and Shine. We thank you for being here with us from the Sheriff Department, from the Public Health Department. I'm Co-Pastor Al McAllister with my Senior Pastor Dr. Teresa McAllister, representing the WIDU Rise and Shine community, where we want to help you know what's available to you. God bless. Have a great day.